Welcome to my video, How Do I Market My Coaching Business? Get ready for some juicy information about how to get more leads, more prospects, and more sales. In this video, I'm going to be covering first and foremost the problems that a lot of coaches face when they're looking at marketing their business, and then the one solution that's the most important thing to know, and then a bunch of different examples of ways that you can market your business that all come from my personal experience, things that I've tried myself and that I absolutely know work. So the first thing to understand about marketing a coaching business is that it can often turn into a grind where you're constantly having to push and do outreach and make things happen. And the reason that that problem arises is usually because you're not doing long-term plays. Usually what happens, if I find a client that's always in that mode where they need more business and they're like, I need to generate business now in the next month or in the next 3 months, that to me is a signal that something's going on, that they don't have a solid enough yet brand. So what is a brand? What's the solution to this problem? Think about branding as building a butterfly garden. Okay, so instead of running around trying to chase clients one at a time, like you would say if you had a net and you were trying to catch butterflies with a net, instead of expending all that energy running around catching a butterfly and then worrying about that butterfly getting away from you, instead you would consider this like building a butterfly garden. It takes more time. You have to plant the seeds in the garden. You have to water the garden. The garden has to get sunlight and it has to grow. But those flowers, once they've grown, they will attract clients for years to come. And the coolest thing about this analogy is you can even plant specific types of flowers to attract specific types of butterflies. And you don't have that scarcity anymore, because when you have a butterfly garden, if a butterfly leaves and doesn't return, it's no big deal, because you know that other butterflies are going to come and take that butterfly's place. So it's the same in your business. So the solution is to consider this like a combination of short-term strategies, which I'm going to share with you in this video, several short-term strategies, but also not to lose sight of the long-term play here. And that's not what I'm going to talk about in this video, but I have a whole playlist on how to build yourself as a thought leader, how to brand yourself as a coach, how to attract business and clients that way. So I invite you and encourage you to go check out that playlist. And in the meantime, let's talk about how to market your coaching services right now. So I've gone ahead and organized these 6 strategies, and don't hold me to that because I might think of a 7th, in order from quickest strategy to longest strategy, in my opinion. It might not be true for everyone, but it's been true for me. So the first strategy, and I'll preface this by saying it's the one that people resist the most, and I found it's the most effective for quick results, all right? The first strategy is outreach. Yes, outreach. That means you picking up the phone and calling people up and maybe texting people. It doesn't mean email. I found that I love email marketing and I absolutely use email marketing, but this type of outreach that I'm talking about is very personal. You don't want your messages to get lost in the shuffle. So this kind of outreach, I mean talking to friends, family, colleagues, and past clients especially. In fact, I should reverse the order there and say past clients and then friends, family, colleagues. And what you want to do with this kind of outreach is to promote your coaching business, is to just share that you're up to something new and you want to share that new thing with this person. Are you open to a conversation? And then in that conversation, as you share this new direction, this new focus, this new vision, it could be whatever, this new project, this new program, you just see if the person is responding and if they're excited about it. They might be excited about it for themselves and you would listen for that. And if they were excited for themselves, you could invite them to have a deeper sales conversation about this thing. You're not trying to get them on the phone and sell them right there and then. It's really more about building and warming up the relationship and then seeing if there's interest, and then boom, if there is, moving them into a sales conversation. And maybe they're not interested for themselves, but this is the perfect opportunity to lead to option number 2, which is referrals. Referrals are an outstanding way to get business. So basically what you can do with referrals, my favorite way to do referrals is to talk to past clients and ask them, how are you doing since we worked together? How's that worked out for you? What has happened since we worked together? What are some of the results? And when they get into that kind of grateful, appreciative mode, that's the perfect time to say, do you know anybody else who could use results like that? Do you have a friend or a client or a family member, anybody who wants to get those same results? And so outreach kind of leads naturally into referrals. So I have a mentor, Mark LeBlanc, who is an outstanding mentor. I've interviewed him on my podcast. I've probably talked about him in other videos. And what he says is he calls these storm starter calls, these outreach calls, because they start up a storm of opportunity. And I've taught this to my clients, and every single time that someone truly takes on this storm starter strategy, they generate something in the way of clients or speaking engagements or something positive. So just get on the phone, reach out, and connect with your network. The third strategy is to do some sort of launch. To do a launch means to basically make up something to talk about, to launch something new, a new program, a new retreat, a new book, a new lead magnet, a webinar, whatever it is, but basically something new that gives you an excuse to reach out to people, to post on social media. So this could look like a contest, a giveaway, a raffle, an event, a webinar, any number of things, but basically it's a specific thing for a very short time frame that gives you an excuse to get out into the world and promote. The next strategy, which is a little bit more long-term, like I said, we're moving down in terms of how long some of these take, and that is speaking. Now, actually, because I've been at this a while, speaking is one of my best drivers of leads in my coaching business. And when I speak, I always get opportunities. The only thing is, usually there's a lead time. For most engagements, at a minimum, I'm booked 2 months in advance, and sometimes even more than a year out from when I'm doing the actual engagement. So this can be shorter, it could be long, but the reason I included it here is because if you don't get engagements with other groups, although I have videos, by the way, you can go check out my whole speaking playlist, you can always create your own stage. And what that looks like is perhaps putting together webinars, events, online, things like that. You can create your own engagements. That is a great way, and that's kind of connected to this launch idea. You can launch your own event, your own webinar, your own live training, your own virtual workshop, your own masterclass. You can use all sorts of names for it, but essentially what it is it's a speaking engagement. It's you in front of your ideal people giving away something of value. Number 5 is, you're looking at it right now, YouTube. YouTube is one of my absolute favorite drivers of opportunities for my business. This video right here is probably gonna get a few hundred, maybe even if I'm lucky, a few thousand views. And a few of you will actually contact me and book a call with me and meet with me. And by the way, if you wanna do that, you can do that by going to superstaractivator.com/go. You can book a discovery call with me or someone on my team. So the 5th way that I like to do marketing for my coaching business is YouTube. Now, I'm not going to get into all my YouTube strategies. There are a lot of them, but I have an entire video that you can check out that's only about how to use YouTube to drive coaching traffic. And then the final one, I kind of already talked about it, but I want to break it out and make it its own item, number 6, which is to do some sort of big event. Now, I'm not talking about necessarily a small little webinar or something like that, but this means like a mini conference or a summit. You can do a telesummit online. You can get 20 speakers, line them up, release the interviews out every other day. This is a really great strategy for both the short term, because you can build out something like this in about 4 to 6 months, but it's also great for the long term because you build your email list and that'll pay off for years. I'll give you an example. I used to do an event live called the Women's Success Summit. I started in 2010 and I did it all the way to 2016. And in 2011, this one person came to my Women's Success Summit and then started working with me last year. So what was that? 9 years later, that relationship finally came to fruition. So it's a short-term strategy, but it's also building you up for that long-term potential. You are a coach, a speaker, author, consultant, and you are looking to grow and scale your business. You want marketing strategies, mentorship, guidance, let me know. Go ahead and go to superstaractivator.com and book some time on my calendar. We can have a conversation and explore if and how I can help you grow your business.